Hello friends, welcome back. In this session we are going to learn about Azure Resource Logs. So what is a Azure Resource Log and why we need to apply Azure Resource Log for your cloud services? Okay, so what if you apply Azure Resource Log? What you're going to observe for your cloud services? Okay, so end of the session you're going to learn about Azure Resource Log. Let's begin. Guys, this is very pretty simple. Why we are applying lock to our home? Nowadays everybody when they go out and they lock their house and they go outside, right? So what it mean, why you're applying locking mechanism to your home, right? So to protect your items, to protect valuable materials from your home. I mean, somebody not to theft, somebody not to get from your house, so then you will apply the lock to your house, right? The same mechanism, Azure Resource Lock, when you apply Azure Resource Lock to your cloud services, okay, so what it is going to help you on mainly is two things. One is somebody unexpectedly trying to delete, so when you apply lock, it is not going to happen. So immediately you will get a error saying that your Azure resource is locked. Okay, so second one, you can when you apply resource lock, right? So the person cannot modify, the person cannot delete, the person cannot update any operations. Okay, so we are going to explore what kind of lock mechanisms we have when you use Azure Resource Locks. Let's go ahead. So in our previous session we have created a resource group, so let's apply resource lock on that resource group and see what difference that you observe. Okay, so search for resource group, open the resource group, and the recent one that we have created is a project dev one. Every cloud services is going to have option called locks. This is nothing but resource locks. You can lock your resources and you can protect your resources, somebody not to delete, somebody not to read or modify and update or delete, right? So when we talk about lock, there are two type of locks. One is read only lock and other one is delete only lock. Okay, so let's have a difference. Let's discuss about the difference between read only and delete. So read only lock, so when you're applying read only lock for your cloud services, guys, keep in mind this is kind of restricted lock. So it means that when you're applying read only lock and choosing any cloud services, the person or the admin cannot perform any operation on particular services, cannot delete, cannot update, cannot modify with respect to the cloud services. But what user can do, user can only read the data. He can only have a read level permissions or a read level mode to in order to check the data. Okay, so you can ask me, right? No, I don't want to apply, I wanted to modify, I wanted to update, but I don't want to delete. Then go for delete lock only. When you apply delete option for your resource, I mean resource, okay, so what it's going to happen is you can update, you can modify your resource, but the person or user cannot delete that particular cloud services. What happens when you try to delete, it is immediately going to show that the resource is locked. Okay, so first let's check one by one. So I'm applying read only lock. For example, I'm applying read only lock, and lock type you say read only, and nodes not to modify, not to delete. See, in organization, when you need to choose read-only lock, if you restricted, if you wanted any cloud services restricted from to update or modify or not to delete, then you apply read-only lock. But if the users wanted to update and modify but not to delete, then you apply delete-only lock. Okay, so you have a clear definition, read only. So when you're applying this resource lock, you are only able to access with a read mode, so all other options is not going to work. But when you select delete, you can read, you can write, you can update, but you cannot delete the particular cloud services. Okay, so let's say okay, and now we can see refresh. So what I said, when you apply read-only lock, you cannot update or you cannot modify and you cannot delete. So now what I'll do is, in front of you, I'll show you, try to delete this particular resource group and see what is going to happen. You have to provide resource group name, and I'm just giving the name of resource group, and let's say delete. See the miracle, guys. What it says, the resource group project A1 is locked and can't be deleted. Click here to manage. Right? So why we need to apply this lock in real time? You know, this unexpectedly someone may delete your resources, right? So nobody will do nothing. I mean, knowingly nobody will do, but unexpectedly, if the cursor go and click on delete resource group, if the resource got deleted, then you may have some impact, right? To avoid such situations, you have to choose resource lock mechanism. Getting my point? So when you apply resource lock to with the read-only mode, you cannot modify, you cannot update. Okay, so for example, I wanted to let's try with respect to this particular service, you cannot update or you cannot delete in the similar manner, and I wanted to show how to apply delete only lock. You can also add and say delete only lock and lock type as delete and say not to delete. Okay. See, you have applied two locks. It means the read-only lock and as well as deleting lock. So is that mandatory to have it two locks? Really not necessary. For example, let me delete this. Okay, just modify. So I just wanted to let's delete the lock and see. In order to, if you wanted to delete any resource groups, first make sure you're deleting a lock. You have a delete option, you delete it. So what I mean, if you wanted to go home inside after locks, you have to open the lock and go inside house, right? It's the same manner. If you wanted to delete, just delete the lock again and delete the services. See, I have deleted read-only lock, still I have a delete lock. So let's go ahead and try to delete and see what is going to happen. Still you can't delete because the scope is locked. Still it is showing is locked. So then how do I delete? Bas, what is this? Okay, then in order to delete, nothing to worry. So just delete again, and now you don't have a locks. Then you are good to delete. Are you happy? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and delete now. I wanted to delete. So say S delete. Now it is going to delete. Now you're seeing. See, this is a notification, guys, as I said. So it is going to notify whenever you perform any operation on cloud service. Now it is going to delete your resource group. Okay, so I'm not able to show you read-only lock, update or modify because this resource group does not have any update or modify. If it is a virtual machine, if I apply read-only and try to do some operations, right, increasing size or decreasing the size, then it is not going to allow. So I'll show you that option once we have a virtual machine in place. But yeah, but you make sure when you apply any kind of lock, delete lock or read-only lock. But first thing is you cannot delete resource. But when you additional benefit with the read-only lock is you can restrict modifying and updating with the resource lock. Now we can see after removing the lock, the resource got deleted. Now it is vanished from here, so there is not there. Getting my point? So you can apply resource lock to any cloud services, but you also make sure, guys, subscription is in a top level. So when you're applying resource lock to subscription, it is going to inherit for all your resource groups, all your cloud services. If you're only applying resource lock to this particular resource group, whatever the services that you're creating within the resource group, within the data center, or there, it is applicable for that particular resource group and it's not for others. But when you apply resource lock to the subscription level, for example, let's go ahead and see, right? So I'm applying lock for subscription level. So I'm opening subscription and I open here, and every cloud service is having a locking mechanism. And now you have a resource locks. Open this beauty, right? Okay, cool. Lock name, I'll select delete lock, so I'll say delete lock, and here I select a drop down delete, and notes not to delete. Say okay. I have applied subscription level. Okay, now when I said I have applied subscription, so it is going to inherit for all your resource groups, guys. This is something root level. Okay, subscription is always root, and resource group is the coming to next level. So now you have a resource group options, and now when you go ahead and delete any one of the resource group, it should not delete technically. Let's go ahead and try. I'll give the resource group name. Now we should get error as a parent is locked. Wow! What is it? The resource group project is locked and can't be deleted. Click here to manage lock resource group. Right? Beauty, right? See, I haven't applied any lock from the particular service, particular this resource group. If you look at here, I did not apply it, but there is a lock applied on your subscription. This subscription is a root. It is not going to allow you to delete this resource group. What to do? It's clearly says parent resource is locked, can't be deleted here. It's very clear, right? Your parent is logged. Obviously under child, whatever the service you have, they cannot delete, guys. So if you want to delete again, go back to the subscriptions and remove there is a lock, right? You have to remove it. You can just scroll little down. You have option to delete. Now it's vanished. Now you can try to delete. It's going to operate. Yeah, I wanted to test read-only lock here. So let's try. Why I'm trying, right? So once you apply read-only lock, you cannot modify, you cannot update. Okay. So by applying this, what we try to do is we'll rename the subscription. We'll try to rename it, and let's see it's going to happen or not. It shouldn't be, because technically it shouldn't, right? Read-only. Note not to modify and not to delete. Woohoo! Delete. Say okay. Now we have applied lock. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead here and try to rename it, and let's see. I little training test. Okay, I'm saving it. Something went changing the subscription. Wow. Okay, training. I'll just add one more G and save it. Woo! Guys, beauty, right? So changing subscription is not happening because I have applied a read-only lock. Now you're getting my point. When you apply read-only lock, you cannot modify any services. You cannot modify, you cannot delete. But if you only apply delete, but you can modify that. Let's go ahead and see that. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just go back here and I'll remove the read-only. Now you are clear, right? Read-only lock is not allowing, but you apply delete lock and see whether we can able to modify the name or not. Okay, I'll just edit and say delete lock. Nothing. Okay, now I have applied the lock. Now I'll go back to the subscription. What I'll do, I'll modify again. Right? I'll just add one more G and save it. Wow! It's applying, guys. See the difference? It is done. Okay, but when you delete, it should not happen. It should not. So what can I say? Cancel subscription. When I say cancel subscription also, ignore and cancel. I'm little worried. I don't want to operate this operation, but yeah, we already tested, so it is not going to happen. Okay, so this is beauty, guys. This is a beauty of resource locks. Whenever you have a restricted, I mean you wanted completely restrict the services, then you go ahead and apply read only. But you wanted to update and modify services, then you wanted to secure from the deletion, you apply delete lock. Hope you understand, right? So if you're applying single individual cloud services, it is going to only apply for the particular services. If you're applying resource group and whatever the services that are there in the resource group, it is applicable for all. And when you're applying subscription, within the subscription, whatever you created, all a number of stuff, it is going to apply for all of them. Getting it? Individual, resource group level, and subscription level. I hope you understand. If you have any technical issues, or if you're not understanding anything, please comment me on my video. I'll reply to or trying to help you personally. right? So keep waiting for next video guys. Bye.